Guys, this is Wheelie, and we're going to talk about this week's performance task, which was called Fun on the Farm. Farmer Sarah has many different types of animals on her ranch. She wants to make new pens for her animals. So she drew this picture to help her plan. Before she builds the new pens, she needs to measure and buy materials. Part 1. Farmer Sarah measured the outside of the pig pen and wrote her measurements below. What is the perimeter of the pig pen? Show your work. Well, she wrote her measurements on the outside, and I remember from learning area and perimeter that the perimeter is the outside measurements. And to solve for the perimeter, I add all the sides. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to add all the sides of the pig pen. So I'm going to get my pencil out, and I'm going to just write an addition sentence to solve this. So I have 8 plus, it's not writing, plus 11 plus 11 plus 17. So what I'm going to do here to make it easier for myself is I know that 11 plus 11 is 22. So I'm going to write that down. And I'm going to bring the rest of the equation down. And I'm going to write 8. Oh, I accidentally hit my eraser. 8 plus 22 plus 17 equals. So now I'm going to add my tens place. I have 20 plus 10 equals 30. And now I'm going to add all my numbers in the ones place. I have 8 plus 2 plus 7. Well, I know that 8 plus 2 is 10. And then I'm going to take that 10 and add it to the 7, and that's 17. So now I'm going to say 30 plus 17. 30 plus 17 equals 47 feet. And I don't want to forget to write the feet. So she needs 47 feet of fencing to close in her pig pen. Let's go on to page 2. Number 2 says, the cow's pen is a square and one side equals 8 feet. So I remember that with squares, all sides are equal. So I'm going to just do, if it's 8 feet, I know I'm going to need 4 sides of 8 feet. How much fencing should Farmer Sarah buy to make the perimeter of the pen? Show your work and explain how you know. So I know that a square has 4 sides, so I could say 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. Or some of you might be thinking, Mrs. Wheelie, you can just do 4 multiplied by 8. And you're right. Both of these equations will get you to your answer. So I could do 4 multiplied by 8 or repeated addition of 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. And because I do know my multiplication facts, I know that 4 times 8 equals 32. So she needs 32 feet of fencing for her cow pen. Number 3, according to Farmer Sarah's drawing, which animals have pens that are quadrilaterals? Well, I remember that the word quadrilateral means a shape with 4 sides. So I'm going to go back to her pens and find which shapes have 4 sides. I'm going to use my little highlighting tool, and the pigs have a 4-sided pen, the chickens have a 4-sided pen, the horse has a 4-sided pen, and the cows have a 4-sided pen. So I'm going to come back to 2, and I'm going to say I need to take my highlighter away. The cows, pigs, chickens, and what's the last one? Cows, and horse. All right, and end it. Part 2, number 4. One of the sides of the horse pen blew over and needs to be replaced. Farmer Sarah needs to buy new fence material for the missing side. The perimeter of the whole horse pen is 76 feet. What is the measurement of the missing side? So the measurement for the missing side is here. I remember when talking about geometry and shapes, I remember when we talked about rectangles that the opposite sides were of the same measurement if it was a true rectangle. And I see here that this does look like a true rectangle. No one side is longer than the other. And so I could say, knowing what I know about rectangles, that this side is 24. So that would be one way of proving my answer. But another way I could do this is I could add up all the sides and make sure that it truly equals 76 feet. If it equals 76 feet, then this was a true rectangle, and I was correct in using my knowledge of the definition of a rectangle, that the opposite side is the same length. So I'm going to start adding this up, and I'm going to say 24 plus 24 equals 48. And I'm going to say 14 plus 14 equals 28. And now I need to add those two things together, those two sums together. And I'm going to say 28 plus 48 equals, and I'm going to do my tens first. 20 plus 40 equals 60. Now I'm going to do my ones. I'm going to say 8 plus 8 equals 16. And 60 plus 16 equals 76 feet. And that matches what it said in the story. So I know that I was correct in saying that the missing side was 24 feet. All right, let's move on to page 3, number 5, part A. Farmer Sarah wants to put 2 sheep in the sheep pen. According to farm law, the perimeter of a sheep pen for 2 sheep has to be at least 100 feet. If the pen is a regular hexagon, does the measurement that Sarah planned follow the law? Why or why not? So I know that a hexagon, all sides are equal, and I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. So some of you might automatically think that you have 15 multiplied by 6. Now some of us might say, wow, that's a big multiplication sentence. How else can I do this? Well, you can use repeated addition. So you could say 15 plus 15 and do this 6 times. So I'm going to go ahead and write that all in. And now I'm going to sit and I'm going to do my ones first. So I'm going to just do my tens first. I'm going to do my tens first. I'm going to do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Now you might say, Mrs. Wheely, you just counted up by tens. Well, yeah, each of them was worth 10, and I can count up by 10 as my strategy. So I know that I had 10, and I had it 6 times, and that is equal to 60. Now I need to do my ones place, and those are all 5s, so I'm going to skip count by 5 because I know how to do that. And I'm going to say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I had 6 groups of 5, and that equaled 30, and I used my skip counting to help me. So now I'm going to take these 2 products and add them together to find out the total perimeter, and that is 90 feet. Well, it told me here in the question that she needs to have 100 feet for 2 sheep. She doesn't have 100 feet for 2 sheep. So she does not follow farm law. She's going to need to make a larger pen. So part B, explain to Farmer Sarah what shape the pen could be and the measurements of the pen. So this is where you could end up with lots of different answers, but I'm going to just kind of stay very simple, and I'm going to say I want to do a rectangle, and I am going to draw my rectangle, and I want to do this side 20. Now let's do 30 and 30. That's 60. And I'm going to do this side 20, which means this side is 20. And I'm going to make sure that that really is 100. I kind of was counting up in my head and I was drawing it. So now I'm going to add up all the sides to prove that I got to 100. So I'm going to say 30 plus 30 equals 60. And 20 plus 20 equals 40. And 60 plus 40 equals 100. And so I would tell Farmer Sarah that she could build a rectangle-shaped pen, and 2 of the sides could be 30 feet, and 2 of the sides could be 20 feet. And now she would be following farm law. All right, let's move on to page 4, part 3, number 6. Farmer Sarah inherited some donkeys. She bought a total of 44 feet of fencing to build them a pen. Draw a quadrilateral that is not one of those already shown that has a perimeter of 44 feet. Be sure to label each side of the pen. So I need to draw a quadrilateral that has not been shown. Okay, so I need a 4-sided shape that is different than what I've seen. So I'm going to do an angled line, come across, do a straight line, and then I'm going to come across. Now I need to label this pen, and it needs to be a total of 44 feet. Well, I could make it where all the sides are the same and just positioned differently, but that wouldn't work here because I do have one leg in view of my shape of my quadrilateral. This is longer, so it's going to need to be longer than the rest. So what I need to think about is what could that be, and then start subtracting from my 44 and label the other parts. I could have this be, let's have it be 14 feet. Okay, so over here I'm going to be taking my 44 feet and I'm going to subtract 14, and I have a 0 and a 3. And so I could, now I have 30 feet left and 3 sides. I could say that this side is 12 feet. Okay, and now I could say 30. That's what I had left. Subtract the 12 that I just labeled equals. So I know that 30 take away 10 is 20. So I'm going to actually do that. 30 subtract 10 equals 20. And now I need 0 to take away my 2. It's not going to work. So I'm going to just say take this 20 and subtract the 2 that I have. And that's going to be 18. And so I have 18 feet left. So I know that 18 divided by 2, which means I put it into 2 equal groups, is, oops, and I made a mistake. I wrote my answer. Divided by 2 is 9. So I'm going to take it and have this be 9 feet and this have 9 feet. And that's a quadrilateral, so a 4-sided shape. And when I add up all the sides, it equals to 44. So that's a suggestion for how she could build a pen for a donkey.